Before you quit, ask yourself, why did you start in the first place? You may feel like you're brainstorming some really good ideas and using all the keywords you need for YouTube to push out your content. I was in your shoes about 4 years ago. I had saved up $1,000 from working at Lowe's to buy a Sony 6400, and I quit only like a month or two after purchasing the camera. I just wasn't performing the way I wanted to. I felt like I was putting in a lot of work and just wasn't getting the views. And as you can see, I came back. I had a mindset shift. And everybody says this, but I started to really just enjoy the art that I was making. I started to realize that as long as I was proud of the videos I was putting out, as long as I enjoyed the content, enjoyed what I was doing in these videos, that was enough. Obviously, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna become like complacent and stubborn and not try to do different things to bring in a new audience. But at the same time, I'm not gonna do something just for clicks. I'm not gonna lose sight of my passion and the real reason I started YouTube. If you enjoy what you are making, the people who will enjoy your content will naturally come to you. If you have a few supporters every week that are loyal to your channel, that always show up, you should also be loyal to them. And as long as you keep on pushing content out, YouTube will eventually push your videos towards the audience you originally intended the videos to be for. I always wonder what would have happened if I hadn't quit back in 2021. Where would my channel be now? But I'll never know. The world will never know. And it's like, you gotta just sometimes just keep on digging because you're on the brink of finding diamonds. But I get it. I get being burnt out. I get feeling like you're not being valued or appreciated because nobody's watching your content. Now, I came back. Why? For one, I just love capturing frames. It's one of the main things that got me into YouTube in the first place. I love being able to go to the different places that I film and thinking about how can I make this as visually appealing as possible. And it can be a challenge. Sometimes there's a lot to film, like a city or a landscape. Sometimes there's not a lot to film, like here, my backyard and my front yard. But I love the challenge of trying to do what I can with what I have and trying to make it unique and trying to make it, like I said, visually appealing. And it gets bad sometimes because I'll be like out at a bar with some friends. I'll be out at a restaurant with my family and I'm thinking about, okay, what are the different frames I could capture here if I had my camera? So it is something that I'm passionate about, just being able to frame things really well. And by doing that, I keep like a really nice memory of it for me to look at one day. A big reason I also came back is I wanted this channel to be a place where I document my ideas and my feelings over time. I share my life advice in a lot of these videos. And my ulterior motive with this is I want people to also like share their opinions. And so I have just a community of people kind of giving each other advice, no matter how old, no matter how young. There's somebody who's really young and could have really good applicable advice for somebody a lot older. You know, life lessons come to us unexpectedly at different points in our lives. And I think it'd be really nice to just have this place where people can talk and share and grow together. I still haven't, quote unquote, achieved the success that a lot of people are pursuing in terms of like the subscribers, the views I'm getting on these videos. And that's cool, you know, I have these reasons for wanting to come back and for pushing out videos, but I have to have a plan. If you have failed to plan, you have planned to fail. You know, if you really want to do this, even if it is your passion, you have to have a plan for how you want to manage your time, how you're going to consistently push out these videos every week. Either one, going to have to sacrifice some of your personal downtime, or two, you're going to have to be able to manage time really well. And for anyone who knows me, I'm one of the worst time managers of all time. Me and Google Calendar, like arch nemesis. So what I do instead is, I love basketball, but when I'm trying to edit these videos and when I'm trying to consistently put out a video every week, I have to sacrifice not watching every single playoff game, even though they're some of the biggest games of the whole year. Something has to give. You know, something has to give if I want to pursue my passion and I want to do it in a timely manner. But for me, it's fulfilling. I like it as a creative outlet and it's worth it. And if it's worth it for you, if you have the time for it, allow it to be something that just gets you away from your normal life. Allow it to be where you can expand and build on your creativity. One more thing is I need to be able to accept feedback. And this doesn't always come in the form of physical feedback. Like, there's not a lot of people just like spamming hate comments, or like there's not a lot of direct criticism in my comment section, but I just see it in the analytics. You know, I look at when are people clicking off of my video. And also, if YouTube is pushing out my content, let's say to 1,000 people, but there's only like 30 people clicking on it, you know, what could be wrong with my title and thumbnail? Is my intro not engaging people enough to where people stay on the video and YouTube decides to push out the video because people stayed on it? So I look at those analytics, you know. For the retention, I start to think about how can I sequence the things in my videos to tell a better story. I want people to stay. I want people to stay for the whole video. I made the whole video for that intention, for people to stay. But that's not always the case, and I have to take that and I have to continue to develop my videos in order to make them the best quality possible. I study how much YouTube pushes out my content a lot and how many people are clicking on the video, because I really need that as important feedback for me to determine how can I make my thumbnails better, how can I make them like more exciting, more enticing. How do I make sure that people are so intrigued that they want to click on the video no matter what? And I've only been at this since like February, so that's what, 4 months of me posting every week. So there's a lot of work for me to still do. But it's important for me not to get stuck in the mindset that, oh, I'm doing all this great work, why am I not getting great results? You know, because there's always ways to improve. I know that eventually I'll get to a point where I'm like, I'm really proud of this and this is almost flawless. Never perfect, but this is almost flawless. And I know that the reason it's not performing is not because of something I'm doing, it's just because I have to wait. My time is coming. YouTube will eventually push out my content to who I'm originally intending it to be pushed out for. Be true to you, be true to yourself, and you'll eventually get an audience that enjoys the content because of that, because of who you are. And isn't that who you are in the first place? You don't want a lot of people that would just come in every week and not watch. Like, you don't want people to subscribe to your channel. Like, there's a lot of ghost channels out there with a lot of subscribers, but not a lot of views. Maybe they sought the route of getting more clicks, and now people aren't really engaged in who they really are. Like, the content that reflects who they really are isn't what the people are interested in. And you want the people who are really interested in you as a human being and who have similar interests as you to be the people who are in the videos watching every week. And like I said earlier, be loyal to those who come every week, who are consistent, who show up. When you are blessed with the few who support you, be appreciative of that. And then you will be rewarded with even more, you know? If you genuinely believe in what you're making, if you enjoy watching it, that's all I have to really say. If you enjoy it, the people will come. The success will come. If you enjoy it, if you feel like it's really entertaining for you, the people who also find it entertaining will eventually find it. That's all I have for this video this week. I hope you are all doing amazing. Thank you for watching. If you watched the whole time, comment below if you are struggling or maybe you had a struggle story that would stem a success. And you know, I'd love to hear from you what kind of strategies you employed in order to kind of keep yourself positive and in order for you to keep on pushing on the days that it was hard. But yeah, please like, please subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.